Yes, indeed. 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on Monday. It is here. Create your future self live. Love this show. I love it. I'm Victor Vanico Johnson. I am the founder of Nico Don Projects, where we help people overcome financial challenges, credit, to get them introduced to entrepreneurship and or real estate investing. And I am hanging out in Kansas City today in my mama living room. So yeah, one of our followers, Valerie K, she's giving us some great hospitality up here in KC. My co-host is over here, Laquita Monley. How you doing, ma'am?
Oh, I am doing, Vic. I am doing. It is blessed. It is good to be here on another episode of Create Your Future Self. And I am looking forward to this great conversation we're going to have today with Coach T.
That's right, Coach T,
Hey,
my man
hey,
Terrance
hey, hey,
Hanserd,
hey.
personal trainer. Now you got to let me give you a little bit of intro because you got some accolades on you, boy. You carrying them things like a backpack. This man has got more than 25 Spartan races under his belt. I don't know if y'all familiar with them Spartan races, but that's not just a 1 mile marathon run here. It's usually what? Mountain climbing, running, swimming, biking. What's all in the Spartan races, man?
Spartan races, you got three different phases. Actually, it go into more phases than that, but you got a 3 mile, an 8 mile, a 13 mile, or you can do a 26 mile, which would be an ultra beast. And it could range from anywhere from 25 to 36 obstacles through terrain, no matter what the weather is. It could be cold, it could be raining, you're going through water, you're climbing stuff, you're carrying stuff. A lot of it got to do with mental toughness,
Man,
definitely.
that's who our guest is today, ladies and gentlemen. A man who done this 25 plus times. He's got his MBA. He's a certified personal trainer. He's certified in the kettle bars and all that good stuff, kettlebells. So this is my man, my guy from my accountability group, Terrance Hanserd, Coach T. How you doing, sir? From Livinproof365.com.
Man, I'm doing great, man. Just juggling day-to-day life duties. Creating habits and sticking to my habits. Planning my days and just trying to get everything done from mind to the
Absolutely.
body to the soul. Got to take care of all three phases.
That's right. And that's one thing I know about your personal training is you come from more of a mental aspect of it, right?
Yes, sir. I strongly feel like, you got to create that mindset and get your mind ready, prepared to get your body moving. So your mind is going to control all your movements. It's going to send those electrons to tell your arm to move, tell your foot to move, tell that leg to move. So, you got to create those habits that's going to build those movements.
Can you hear us, Vic?
Yeah, it popped out for a second. I should have do not disturb. You know how these things go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's really great, man. I focus on a lot of the mental capacity because a lot of people, they worried about the physical. They want to look a certain way. They want to feel a certain way, and I focus on how fitness makes you feel because
Hmm.
in your mind, if you're feeling good, no matter how you looking, no matter what you're going through, you feeling good. Can't nobody
Right.
take that away. Can't nobody take that mental toughness away. That's why I've emphasized on the mental side first.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, but you're right, though, because if your mind, it doesn't matter. If your mindset isn't correct, you won't finish whatever. If one of your clients, if their mentality isn't right, then how likely will they be to complete a program that you've designed for them?
They won't be likely to complete it at all. That's why each client, you got to kind of build a plan based on their goals, based on where they're coming from, because you want to start with something small, something simple, and then you build them up so they can achieve those what I call small mini habits. They can achieve those habits and they can build off of that. So instead of getting somebody to do a 60-minute workout, we might start off with 15 minutes. We start off with 20 minutes. It could just be a matter of showing up sometimes and having a conversation. It
Right.
doesn't always have to be the whole workout. It's just about getting that person motivated step by step, phase by phase.
That's a good
That,
point, bro, because me and Latasha just started back doing this yoga last weekend, man. And I felt like I won just by showing up on that mat that Saturday morning, you know what I mean? But then the real work kicked in. And so it definitely takes that mental toughness. And we talked about this before, from getting your finances together, your credit together, starting a business, running a household, getting married. All these things require that discipline and that daily effort to put in to make it work successfully. So I'm glad you come from that perspective. That's excellent.
Definitely. You know, the fact that you just made, you know, you showed up and you rolled that mat out. That's the first step was buying the mat,
Yeah.
True.
or loading the application, or waking up an hour earlier. You know, those are the first steps. You get those things going, then you move into the movements and the flow of things. So you got to go step by step. Otherwise, you know, you get people to get discouraged and they're worrying about what the next person doing. Got to focus on yourself, your inner self.
Right, right. Now, I hear you saying, and I'm totally agreeing with you, the importance of the mindset. And just from some of the coaches I've worked with in the past, that's a totally different approach than any of the people that I've ever worked with as a personal trainer. So, outside of your emphasis on having your mindset correct, what are some other things that makes you very different from other coaches,
I
other
start
coaches
with
and trainers?
I feel like I start with motivation and focusing on the balance and the movements first, as well as which I said the mindset, and also maximizing all the benefits through the health side, through the eating side, because you want to add all these components together, right, and create the best self. Because at the end of the day, we're trying to create our best self,
Mhm.
whether that be physically, mentally, financially, you know, it all intertwines together. And that's something that I kind of speak to when I'm talking with my clients is, hey, how are we going to create your better self so that you can get up and out that chair, so you can play with your kids, so you can be around for your grandkids. So as you get up in age, when you're losing bone density and muscle density, you understand that you need to keep working out. See, a lot of people, you know, our more senior group, you know, we kind of stop moving around, and when you stop moving around, you don't use it, you lose it, right?
Right.
So
Right.
Right.
we want to do something is better than nothing, and that's what I emphasize things on.
So give me like an example of something that somebody could do. Like, so you talk about the mental toughness part of it and actually getting there and started. So that's one part of it, but the sustaining part, like, a weekend, 2 weeks into the training, we all motivated in the beginning. Usually we're very motivated right at the end, but that middle phase, is what are one or two things you would recommend to your clients, to kind of keep them going during the toughest part of that journey, which is usually in the middle of the thing.
Well, if we creating smaller goals with no days off, right? I consider a day off you going for a walk, right? You bonding, you walking with your loved ones, you walking with your kids, you walking with your dog, you getting a walk in, or you stretching, doing active recovery. So you don't have any actual gaps. You're doing something every day, whether that be 30 minutes or 60 minutes, right? So we want to keep it. We want to keep the momentum going. We don't want to stop, especially when you're first getting started. Once you get the discipline to, I use an example of myself. I can walk in a grocery store or in a convenience store, and I can walk straight through the snack aisle without grabbing anything, and I can go from here to there and get exactly what I came for. Now, a lot of people can't do that. I mean, do the test next time you're in the store. Whoever's out there on this call tuning in, do the test and tell me what you grab. Because everybody gonna see a old school snack we want, some Alexander the Great, some lemon heads. I don't know what area you're from, but you know, they got
Man, them
all these
peanut
snacks out
M&Ms
there.
is the devil. I can tell you that. No, them peanut
Exactly.
M&Ms, the devil, boy.
Oh,
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm not saying, don't do it and don't grab them. But if you want a snack, leave your house, walk to the store if you can, grab your snack and walk back. Right? You burning stuff at the same time you taking it in.
Right,
So
right.
you want to just do little things to keep the momentum going. And like I said, create with the meditation and the mindset, create small steps. Start with 5 minutes. Everybody have a smartphone, an iDevice. You can get your online guided meditation, and you can
Right.
start with that. That's going to clear that stress and that anxiety and help with your focus.
Hmm. So one of the things you always talk about is nutrition and exercise. Like everybody's, wanting to get into these exercise programs and things, but I always hear you talking about like it seemed like 80% of your health goals should be tied to diet. Am I hearing that correct, or what's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that, and it's a lot of facts around it, is that you can't outwork bad eating habits.
Mhm.
So with that being said, if I'm working out all the time, but I'm eating garbage food, I'm not going to maximize my results. I'm not going to get the best performance no matter what I'm doing. So if you are eating right, say you're working out and you eating right and you in great shape, if you take some days off from the gym or from working out and you keep on eating right, you're not going to lose those results. But if you take those days off from the gym and then you start eating back bad or adding the wrong things in, you're going to lose those results you just gained. So you
Hmm.
got to maximize the eating benefits. And a few ways to do that is by planning your meals. Something I encourage a lot is the meal prepping. It gives you a lot of time back in your day that people don't think about. Because if you're meal prepping with your family and you got all your meals planned ahead of time, when dinner time comes, you save an hour or hour and a half trying to get a meal together. When you can give
Hmm.
that time back to your family, you can give that time back to your kid who's asking for that attention with the homework or whatever they may want to do. Give you back some time to exercise. It's a lot of benefits into planning your meals ahead of time.
So that
and and you'll save money. Everybody like money.
for sure, for sure.
For sure.
So the meal prep saves time, it saves money, and it keeps you in a position where you are eating what you're supposed to eat. So I have two questions actually. The first question is, I know like right now there are tons of different type of supplements, from juices to pills to whatever a person can take that's supposed to help replace the amount of exercise that you need to do in order to get to your goals. Yeah, I knew you was gonna do that. So talk to us about that.
Yeah.
A lot of
I,
people doing a lot of stuff in order to
so
try to get to their goals. Like what, as a professional, what's your opinion on that, and what would you suggest for people to do?
well, my opinion on that, I'm all natural, so I get all my nutrients and my energy and my stuff from the foods. If you're eating a balanced diet, you're gonna get that energy. Your body's gonna adapt. Sure, you might need multivitamins. You might need some B12 supplements. You might need some basic essentials, for the body. But me myself, I don't recommend going out and getting these magic diet supplements. And if you do choose to, I would just recommend you consult with your physician. If you have a cardiologist or your physician, have them read the ingredients on the label. Rule of thumb: if you don't know what the ingredients are, don't put it in your body.
Yeah, yeah, that's a
Yeah.
It's
good
a
one.
lot of,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a professional. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a certified doctor in any of these areas. But what I do know is just from personal experience, I had a irregular heartbeat and I was on a monitor for 6 months. Um, and then they took me off for a year. I had to quit drinking coffee for a year because too much caffeine can promote an irregular heartbeat. And that was my situation. So I got off the coffee and got everything back to normal. So if you're doing energy drinks, that has caffeine. If you're having coffee, that has caffeine. A lot of the little gooey, the little chewy energy stuff got caffeine. A lot of these things can cause little side effects. And I would just say consult with your physician on that.
Right, right,
Yeah,
right.
that's good guidance. That's definitely good guidance. So, So one of the things me and Latasha struggle with, or I'm gonna just put it on me to be honest with you, because we want to meal prep, but we've struggled with the discipline of that part. So then we had this this company, and I'm not promoting anybody, but there was a company out there that you could order meals from, and they're healthy. They basically cutting up cucumbers and carrots and stuff, and they're very healthy meals. You come in and you cut them up and throw them in a skillet or in the oven or whatever the directions are. The problem was one or twice they left out some ingredients or something, so then it just threw us completely off. Like we needed anything to cause an excuse for us to stay on the discipline with that. So I don't know, man. It's just, what would you guide for people that are struggling with just that discipline, even putting a meal plan together? Like, what's your encouragement?
Man, I would say start simple. Start with choosing a protein, which I mean, depend on what your diet is and what you can eat. Choose one protein. Get you 6 to 8 ounces. Order you a little scale. You can weigh that out. Choose you a healthy carb, a complex carb like a sweet potato, brown rice, or some quinoa, and choose you some vegetables. You can never have enough vegetables. Just stay away from all the creamy salad dressings. You can actually benefit from just oil and vinegar with a little lemon and enjoy the natural flavors. Enjoy the fruits of the earth. And think of it like, if you are a specialist at managing your finances or whatever that may be, think of learning how to meal prep as you want to be that specialist in making your own meals. It's nothing like making your own meals and adding the natural flavors and creating something. Think of it as creating art, right? We all want to create something with the trade that we're in or with the business that we're in. So when you making that meal, you creating something for your family, something everybody can enjoy. And like I said, enjoy the natural flavors. Don't add the extra salts. Leave the Lowrys and all the Tony Ketchers on the shelf. I know. Hey,
Yeah.
Another benefit is you eliminating paying for that medication.
True.
If you got high blood pressure, now you got to take the blood pressure medicine. If you got diabetes, or if you need to cut back on the sugar. Prescriptions get expensive the older you get, man. I mean, the benefits go that way. And then they charge you. So, if you take time and create them healthy meals, cut up your own stuff. And if you got a local farmers market in the area, you can go there and get you some real good stuff.
Right. I'm in a lot of different groups on Facebook, but one of my favorite groups is a group with of Black farmers, and they're all giving each other tips on how to grow produce, fruits, vegetables, even raising cattle, chickens, just whatever you want, goats, lamb, whatever you want to put on your plate. And I know that I grew up in the South in Mississippi, and there's a very big difference between farm to table food and the food that we get out of the grocery store.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily all natural. There's a really big difference. And when you don't have to put as many, like you said, chowries or Tony Lawry's, or any of those seasonings in it, because the flavor of it is already good. It is already good. I remember a couple of years back, I went to Africa and I eat goat. I mean, I eat goat a lot. And so they were having some goat. And it was some of the best meat I've ever eaten. It went truly from the farm to the table. We were out earlier, knew we wanted goat. The goat was slaughtered. It was cooked, no seasoning on it. The vegetables that we had, the bread that they made, but that was some of the sweetest meat I have ever tasted. Straight farm to the table. And if we could get back into that, like some of the groups that I'm following, it just makes sense. If you guys were city guys, even if you were country guys, back in the day, it was really farm to table. That food tastes so different, and it keeps you a lot healthier than, some of the other things that we're getting in the grocery store. And so, like, I hear a lot of people say, well, organic food is so expensive. Well, what if we grow it? Grow the herbs that you want to season with. Or some of the smaller, fruit, depending on what type of situation you have. When we lived in Germany, I will grow some of our fruits and vegetables from hanging baskets or little some of the little plastic hot houses that you can put up, and it tastes so much different, and it made us a lot healthier than what we were when we first left the state. So definitely, what you were saying there about the food and how we season it, what we do, just enjoying the natural taste of food. I think that if people can get back to that, it definitely will help them get a lot healthier.
Well,
For sure.
everything everything today. If you look at society, everything is fast paced. So everybody wants everything now, and that's one of the big issues. Is they want fast food, they want fast internet, they want
Yeah.
Door
Yeah.
DoorDash, they gonna Uber Eats.
DoorDash.
But now you going from DoorDash to Uber Eats, and you're not even seeing who preparing your food. You know what I'm saying? It's taking
Yeah.
three, four steps to get to your door to the doorstep. You know?
Now you make a good point with that too. And one thing,
Yeah.
Laquita, that's a good point is that like we talk about breaking the generational curse of finances and with our credit and all this stuff, but our health is one of the bigger ones that many of our families we could probably do better at breaking that. And it's not even our family's
Mhm.
fault all the time. It's just our grocery stores, in
Yeah.
many neighborhoods you can't even buy fresh fruits and stuff like that.
Nope.
And so,
You know,
you know,
that's
breaking those curses and being able to start growing our own stuff maybe in our own backyard, which is why
yeah.
ownership is important. Owning your own land and stuff like that is really critical,
Really,
very, very powerful thing that we need to do.
absolutely, Vic. Like, in my on both sides of my family, high blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, different things have run in our family, and so when it started to kind of hit home, I was like, no, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
be like I don't want to be on a pill at age 30, age 40. When I get to age 50, I don't want to be on pills to regulate my health. So what can I do?
Right.
And so, you go to the doctor and they ask you, okay, what's this in your family history? Da 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 da. And I'm short and I'm kind of big sister, right? And but my blood pressure and all of these things stay good because I actively want it to stay good, the things that we eat, how we prep our food. And I refuse to believe that these things are genetic. It might be
Hmm.
habitual because we eat and prepare our food the way that we've been taught to eat and prepare our food for years. And maybe those bad eating habits cause these things to happen. But I just can't say that it's in my blood. I don't have high blood pressure. I don't have diabetes. I don't have any of these things. And a lot of the people in my family on both sides, by the time they were my age, they already had it. And the
Right.
difference is really food preparation. I can't even say the activity because they're a lot more active. They had harder jobs. I sit behind a computer most days, but they
Yeah.
had much harder jobs. But the biggest difference was food. Not because if we
Hmm.
compare the activity that I do to the activity of my parents when they were my age or my grandparents and so
Right.
on, I'm
Right.
nowhere near as active as they were. My work isn't as
Big
hard.
difference.
Big
Big
difference.
difference.
Yeah.
Big
The work
difference.
is that's one of the things too. A lot of the jobs nowadays is networking and pressing the button. Everybody is working on financially getting stable, and you can kind of relate financial literacy and you could do health literacy because it's two of the same. You want to enjoy your finances, but if you don't have your health, you're gonna be using your finances to just try to survive.
Hmm.
You want to be able to
Yeah.
travel, you want to
Absolutely.
be able to go on vacation to be active, take the grandbabies. We living longer
Yeah.
nowadays, so
Yeah.
we
That
need to
was that
re,
was
re
something I really appreciated about the event yesterday. We did the Create Your Future Self youth program where you Mind Money Movement, where you were the speaker on the movement part of the presentation. And this was a 2 hour long event, educational workshop. And you made sure like every 12 to 15 minutes, all right, everybody stand up, let's get some jumping jacks in. And we got a Hollywood Squares kids and parents and stuff on the screen, everybody doing jumping jacks. And I know you offer that as well on Friday nights as well. Tell us about your virtual workout sessions.
on my Friday night Zoom. I'm
Yeah.
actually I'm actually working on a new more convenient day, and which probably will be Sunday, but I'm trying to come up with a time because I was doing Friday, 7 p.m. and the numbers were kind of fading now, since the people are getting back to reality, back to we want to live like the COVID is still not around us, and it is still around us, and people getting back to regular. But the thing about the whole COVID situation, man, is that you want to strengthen your immune system, and by sitting around doing nothing, you weakening your immune system.
That's
So,
right.
with that being said, I am working on a new time for Sundays. I'm just trying to come up with a time slot for that. But what I was doing on Friday nights at 7 was a 30-minute Zoom workout, no equipment necessary. We do 1-minute intervals on exercises, and you go at your own pace.
That's dope. That's dope. How can people connect with you, man? Because I know, like you say, you probably updating the dates. So let's get your information in here.
You can follow me on Instagram at Livinproof365 or Facebook at
Instagram. I'm putting it in the chat. Instagram. I can't spell today.
And it should be Livinproof with no G. So it's Livinprooff. Livinproof365 at Facebook or Instagram.
Okay.
You can always visit my website as well at livinproof365.com.
That does have a G.
No G.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that's dope, man. That's dope because, again, you're right. We are virtual, but that doesn't mean that you don't have to take care of your health the same way. And so even in the house, you can stop, do some jumping jacks, do some squats and lunges, walk up and down your stairs a couple times. That's something that Latasha and I have really been trying to, we do more of, in addition to making sure we're comfortable going to the gym as long as we wear our stuff and our gloves. But, just keeping our body moving. I'm at 46 now, and getting up at 46 feels different than 36, definitely different than 26. And every day it's a different crick or crack. So yeah.
All right.
Guess what? You just keep oiling that machine, just like you see some of them old schools driving around, man. When they rebuild them old school cars, they build them from the ground up. So they rebuilding the shocks. You doing your balancing, you doing your tires. You building the body. You do the paint last. So the paint, think of the paint as a shopping spree, right? For those people that are thinking about starting a new health journey, don't wait till 2021. You can start today. So, I encourage you to start your journey and shred the weight, shred the pounds, and you're going to have to reward yourself at the end by getting new clothes, right? So, I mean, we all like new outfits. So just kind of think about that. It's like, man, if I start training and start shredding, I got to buy new stuff. So then you go buy what you want. You go buy the stuff that you want to get into. Give yourself a challenge, give yourself a goal. One step at a time. Don't rush it. One day at a time.
That's it.
We have our audience here that's visiting us across Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, as well as Periscope. And we want to thank them for tuning in today. And I know that you're receiving some great information about health, fitness, mindset. Go ahead and hit those like and subscribe buttons. If you're new to us and this is your first time, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. And also to our visitors that join us normally, thank you. And go ahead and hit that share button and share this broadcast out to as many people as you possibly can. We want to thank Coach T for being a part of the show with us today. It's been really, really good. And with this information, you guys go out, look at his website. It's in the comment section, www.livinproof365.com, as well as you can find him on Instagram at Livinproof365. Coach T, thank you again. I mean, we love this information, bro. And just for those who've just joined us, and even for the people who've been with us, you've given us how they can contact you. When you're talking to potential clients, like a lot of these people on here today are potential clients, what would you say stands you out from the rest in your field, and why should people choose you?
I feel like what makes me stand out is I start from the brain. You know, we start up top first, and we work our way down. And it's no judgment. You know, we focus on how we feel, not how we look. A lot of times, people will want to come in and they want this specific look, but every body type is different. So we got to identify what your goals are and be specific to your goals. And I'm relatable. I've been there. You know, I've been that guy, 240, and thought I was eating right, thought I was training right. I'm approachable. I'm down to earth, and I know what I'm doing. So, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's legend in his own self, man. Trust me. People in the city, the Bay Area, San Francisco, Oakland, they've been getting his coaching for a long time. He's on a weekly accountability call that I'm on with some other brothers, and he gives us all great information on from meal plans, workouts, quick things we could do to implement more water into our diet. For me and another brother, we were wanting to add more weight from a healthy weight perspective. He gave us some great guidance on this. So the guy knows his stuff. Reach out to Coach T, Livinproof365. That's living without the G, Livinproof365 on Instagram, Facebook, Livinproof365.com. We appreciate you, my man, for coming through again. Yes, sir. What you got?
One last thing. I mean, you feel free to DM me at any time if you got any questions. I'm always there. You know, I answer questions. It's no charge for information. That's how I see it. You know, the more you know, the more you owe. At the end of the day, I'm here to help.
Awesome. So, you know, you mentioned that starting with your mindset is the most important thing, and I can't stress that enough for anybody just listening. No matter what we do, we have to have the right mindset, or what we think that we want to do, what we're starting. You have to have the proper mindset. So, Coach, if you could give us one or two nuggets on mental toughness and getting your mind right.
Just think, I'll say, you know, for your mind, think it into existence. That's number one, you know, think it into existence. You got to be able to tell yourself you can do it first. That's the power of the mind. You know, you think it into existence. If you think a positive thought, you're going to do something positive. You think something negative, you're going to do something negative. So turn all those thoughts around. If you have a positive thought, say, I don't feel like doing it. I guarantee you, after you do it, you're going to feel better.
Yep.
So on those long, stressed out days, park the car. Don't go into the house. Go for a walk first. Your family, your mate, whoever you live with, you'll be able to kind of exhale before you walk in that door.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, all that stress and that anxiety from your long day, that's going to go to that person. You're going to transfer that negative energy. So get rid of the negative energy before you walk in that door.
Good deal.
Like I told you, you know, it's tough, man. It's a legend.
Peace out.
That's up. We appreciate it, man. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us this week. We'll see you next Monday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here. Create Your Future Self Live. Have a great week.
Peace.
Peace.